Hey everybody, it's me again, Leo. I've been wanting to put this video out about my journey with PYLORI when I was sick with it, and also why my faith, why I rededicated my life back to Jesus Christ. But I remember it was like the last week of July. I remember getting up from work. I was getting up, getting ready to go to work. I remember I felt like I had to use the restroom, like a bowel movement really bad. And at the same time, my stomach was burning, and I felt like I wanted to throw up, but I couldn't. So I went to go sit on the couch, and man, that feeling, that burning sensation, wanted to throw up, it wouldn't go away. I just felt, man, I never felt nothing like that before. And I was sitting there waiting there, and I told my wife was getting ready to go to work too. And I told my wife not to go. Please don't go to work. I don't know what's wrong with me, And so as soon as I got off from the couch, man, I started shaking really bad. I thought my blood sugar was dropping. Something, I don't know. I just never felt like that before. And I just felt like I was gonna die that day. I just felt like this was my last day on earth. So I told my wife, call the ambulance, please. Something bad's fixing to happen to me. And man, I just remember the look on my wife's face. God, I'll never forget that day. And plus, she was sick at the time. She was 6 months pregnant. So she called the ambulance, and before the ambulance got there, God, I got on my knees and started praying to God, please don't take me. Please don't take me right now. I'm not ready to go. I don't know what's wrong with me. So the ambulance finally got here, and they checked my vital signs, did an EKG, and everything was normal. And they asked me if I wanted to go to the hospital. I told them, no, I'll be fine. I don't know why I called the ambulance anyways, in the first place. And then, so my wife, she didn't go to work that day. And so she convinced me to go to the hospital that day, later on that day. So I finally did, caved in, went to the hospital. Doctor checked me out, and, she did some blood work, CT, EKG, and everything came out normal. She told me that I'm probably coming down with the virus, just drink plenty of fluids, and that was it. But from that day on, God, it just like, I don't know, it just like, I lost my appetite. I started developing anxiety, panic attacks, palpitations, shortness of breath, chest pain, stomach discomfort. I felt nauseated all the time. I couldn't sleep. Every time around, like, I don't know, for some reason every time around like 1 or 2 in the morning, I just felt like I wanted to throw up. Like, I don't know, something's like, I just wanted to throw up. I don't know what it was. I couldn't sleep. So I had to sleep, for almost, I can't remember, for almost like 3 months, 3-4 months, I had to sleep sitting up. But anyways, but I quit my job too because I couldn't work. I couldn't even drink water. At the time I was working construction, and being out in the hot sun, you got to stay hydrated, especially here in Texas, and like I said, I couldn't even drink water. I couldn't even eat. All I was eating for the first month, I was eating just maybe a cup of applesauce and a half a banana every day. That's all I could eat. Anytime I try to eat something else, it would hurt my stomach, and my anxiety level would just go to the roof. For the first 2 months, like I said, I didn't know what was going on. I went to the emergency room like 7 times. And, they would check, every time I would go, they would check my heart, do CTs, do lab work, EKGs, and everything kept on coming back normal. I didn't know what was going on, like, I would break down too at night. There were many nights I would break down and cry. Man, I didn't know what was going on with me. I thought I was gonna die, I thought something was going on, And on top of that too, my wife, she was working while she was pregnant, and I wasn't able to work. So I was feeling really bad that I couldn't, like I couldn't help out, I couldn't work, because she was the only one working. And not only that, money was getting very tight. Each month, I didn't know how we were going to pay rent. I worried about my wife eating, because the money was very tight. But I remember, like, like a couple of family members, like, I don't know how to put this, but that I don't really associate with, hardly ever talk to. I remember they, out of the blue, they sent me money, enough money just to pay, get through the, pay rent. I just couldn't believe it, It was just, and other friends were like, come by, see how I was doing, buy my wife something to eat, I just couldn't believe it, like, wow, and so, 2 months went by, I finally got in to see a GI specialist, and so finally got in to see her, and she, so I told her what was going on, and so she tested me for H. pylori, and I came out positive for H. pylori. And at the time, I didn't have insurance at the time, so she prescribed me, tetracycline, Flagyl, Pepto-Bismol, and PPI, and all that. Of course, it was going to be pretty expensive. I didn't know how I was going to get the money, so she prescribed me. She prescribed me that medication for 2 weeks. 4 times a day, 2 weeks, and so the first week, kindly, I didn't know how I was going to pay for the medication. We went to Walgreens to see how much it was going to be, and so we went to Walgreens to see how much it was going to be. It was going to be like $500. Where was I going to come up with that money? And my wife found this this coupon where it's called Gold RX. That helps. It's like a coupon, to reduce the price of the medications. So, and not only that too, I didn't tell my mom that I was sick, how bad I was sick. She lives out of town, and I remember, she called me one day. She goes, "Be sure to check your mail, because I have a surprise for you." And I went to go check the mail, and she had sent me $300. Oh, I said, golly, man, I was breaking down, like, golly. And so I went to pharmacy. Like I said, my wife found this thing called this coupon called Gold RX. It's to help with to pay for your medication. And so for that first week of medication, round of medication, it wound up being $250. So, that money that my mom sent me helped me pay for that medication for the first week. So, I finished I took the medication, finished my first week. So the next week I was wondering how I was going to pay for the money. I still, like I said, I still wasn't working, and I still was feeling bad. It felt like I was just getting worse, I was losing a lot of weight, and I just, like I said, I keep saying this, I just felt like I was going to die. And so we went again. So we went back the next week to get my second week of medication, and my wife wasn't able to use that Gold RX anymore. So that lady, that cashier, that lady from Walgreens, she told my wife to keep looking for another app, for some other coupons through the app, some certain app, I can't remember. And so my wife found another coupon, and she showed the lady, and I remember that lady was asked us, we had, did we get insurance? And my wife told her no. So she went to go talk to her manager or the pharmacist, whoever, and so they came back to the cash register, and and she told us, you don't owe anything for this, for the second week of medication. It says here 0. I couldn't believe it. My stomach started hurting, because I guess because of the excitement and disbelief. We went back to the truck. I just started breaking down. Me and my wife just started breaking down and crying because we didn't have to pay for that second week of medication, I just couldn't believe it, And from that day on, I just, God, it was the good Lord helping us. Like I said, So I finished that week. Of medication. Like I said, during during the 2 weeks of taking medication, it just felt like I was just getting worse. I just started getting more depressed, and like I said, because my wife was working, I wasn't working, and at the time too, we had nothing ready for the baby, for our son. I didn't have enough money to buy Pampers, clothes, or anything. That made that was making me feel even worse. And so after medication, I was feeling, for the first 3 weeks, I was still feeling bad, but I started noticing my symptoms started feeling better. I started feeling better. My symptoms started getting better. And then every time my wife would come home from work, she would come home with a box of Pampers, some clothes, a swing, the carriage. And I asked her, where are you getting all this stuff? We didn't have no money to pay for that. She told her, she was telling me that people from work were just giving her stuff, and I just couldn't believe it. Golly, I just, to this day, I still can't believe it, and so finally, I started feeling a little bit better, where I can start working again, and this, so I started working again. And then in November 22nd, that's when I finally, retested again for H. pylori, and I came back negative finally. And but golly, I just couldn't believe it was I just couldn't believe other things that happened to us. There's still a lot of stuff I'm missing out. A lot of details, but I know from that day on, like when I had a little time, had a little money, extra money, I would go buy food. Start giving to, go out to give to homeless people. Like I said, I was getting my appetite back. I was starting to feel better, and every time I would eat, I would give thanks to God for providing for us, for giving us food, and not only that, able to eat, and like I said, I just wanted to share my story, and I know I'm missing out a lot of details, but it's getting a little emotional. But there is, when y'all feel like y'all like giving up, or there's no hope, like you're never gonna feel better, it's not true. You will. And like I said, man, my experience, give yourself up to the good Lord, to Jesus, like he'll help. But you also got to do your part too. Like I keep telling other people, you got to make sure you eat right. Make sure you stick with that bland diet. Don't stress. No matter what route you take, the natural way or the antibiotic way, you got to give it time. Like I said, stay away from Google. Don't stress. I know it's hard not to stress. You got to stick with that bland diet. But trust me, you will feel better. You just got to hang in there, be patient, and it's going to take time, But like I said, that is my story, But like I said, I hope everybody gets to feeling better.